So, today I'm going to be answering a question from my sister's friend, and I'm pretty sure this is the question that was asked because I think there might have been some misinterpretation between when my sister's friend asked her and when my sister told me about it, but I'm pretty sure that this is what the question was. How do you do problems with multiple fractions? Some of them are positive and some of them are negative, and you're multiplying some of them and you're dividing some of them. Well, there's a few ways you could do it. You could take it part by part, so start with the 3/2 times 4/5, and you would get 12/10, which simplifies to 6/5. And then you multiply by times 1/8, and then you get 6/40, which is equals 3/20. 3/20, and then with division, it's the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So instead of dividing by -2/7, it's the same as multiplying by -7/2. So times -7/2, which comes out to be -21/40. And then it's the same with dividing by 3/11. We're going to multiply by 11/3, which comes out to simplify as -77/40. So you could take it part by part, you'll get the right solution. Or another way you could do it is by switching all of the divisions into multiplication by making it multiplying by the reciprocal. So instead we have 3/2 times 4/5 times 1/8 times -7/2 times 11/3. And then you could just multiply all the way across. So you would have 3 times 4 is 12, times 1 is 12, times -7 would be -86. Then -86 times 11 would be 860 plus 86, which would be 946. Let me just double check that. Let's see. 11 times 86. Yeah. So you multiply all the numerators across, and you would get -946. Then you would multiply all the denominators across, and you get 2 times 5 is 10, times 8 is 80, times 2 is 160, times 3 is 480. But then at that point, it would be hard to figure out that you could simplify that and what that would even simplify to. Because that does simplify to -77/40. But that would be really hard to figure out. So you can do this, but you also do another step. So you look at all these fractions and you look for things that have common factors like 2 and 4 and 8, and you see if they are in the numerator or the denominator. And here we have a 2 in the denominator and a 4 in the numerator. So we can kind of cancel these out because this, when we multiply them together, there's still going to kind of be a 2 and 4 on top of each other, which is just going to simplify to 2 over 1. So we can simplify these like so, so that this is 1 and this is 2. And then we can look at this now 2 and this 8, and we can simplify that again. So this 2 becomes a 1, and this 8 becomes a 4. But this 4 and this 2, they're both in the numerator, so that's not going to work. They're both in the denominator, so you can't cancel them out or simplify them in any way. And then we've got a 3 and a 3, which is just going to simplify to 1 and 1. So if we rewrite this, we have 1 over 1 times 1 over 5 times 1 over 4 times negative 7 over 2 times 11 over 1. That's a lot easier to work with because you've just got a whole bunch of 1s. And so if we try to work it, you got 1 times 1, that's 1. 1 times 1, that's 1. 1 times negative 7, that's negative 7. And then negative 7 times 11, that's just going to be negative 77. And then we have 1 times 5, that's 5. 5 times 4, that's 20. 20 times 2, that's 40. 40 times 1 is 1. So now we have the completely simplified version without having to simplify it after we get that big negative 946 over 460 fraction. By simplifying numerators and denominators, we can then more easily find the complete and simplified solution. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. And yes, if anyone watching has any other math related questions or science related questions, just leave them in the comments below and I'll try and answer them to the best of my ability. Goodbye.